early Africa, thatching was the primary mode of roofing for houses and buildings. Centuries on, we still find thatched roofs in almost every other household in the rural areas. However, thatch has found its way into the cities. We find out we've got lodges, buildings, homes, and hotels, such as the Elephant Hills Hotel in Victoria Falls. It is thatched. Now we have more people building and using thatch as the modern way of roofing. Let's find out more how people are integrating thatched roof from the construction point of view.
Thatch moderates temperature by itself. Thatch is unique because you can't find thatch everywhere. So the advantage of using thatch, it attracts even also the tourists when they visit Zimbabwe. They have to see different from where they are coming from. The roofs has to be different when they are viewing the sites. The smell of the thatch is different from the smell of the asbestos or the smell of tiles. We have read some of our clients, very unfortunate, they were burnt inside the thatch because it also catches fire when it has not been sprayed fire protection. When we use 25 centimeters of the thickness of the thatch or 300 millimeters the thickness of the thatch, it has to be 20 years or 18 years. That is when we need to do rethatch again. You cannot roof the houses of the high density suburbs using thatch, because if one catches fire, it means the rest will catch fire. So there is limitation in the resorts, in areas like game parks, wedding venues. Yeah, we can use thatch. We have got so many different of thatch. We have got reeds, we have got savanna grass, we have got elephant grass. But I've got a few samples which I want to show you. This one is part of the reeds. You see, the disadvantage of this grass is that this one has got holes inside. So if you look, you see it holds water for some time. So it rots faster than the small grass, which is savanna grass. I've got this thin grass, which I also recommend my clients to use, because when it rains, it doesn't hold water for too long. It releases the water, it doesn't rot so fast because it dries quickly. This is the special grass. This is the best grass which I recommend to use, especially here in Africa. The big birds which come looking for lizards, they make the grass loose. So to stop that, we put mesh wire in game parks where there are big birds, monkeys, baboons. So we put mesh wire to stop that. We use a comb or a beater. This one. This is the one which we use to make it look fine. So this is the one which does the whole job. Spray thatch coat on your thatch so that when fire broke out, it doesn't burn so fast. Like you may remove everything in the room, or there is no life damage, because the thatch coat makes the thatch look the same for 5 years. Many of the thatch have been destroyed by lightning. We have lost life, we have lost the property. So we need every thatch to have lightning conductor. Long back ago, they used to put mesh wire. Before putting the grass, they put mesh wire and the 16 millimeter gauge of wire. We substituted all those using brander rings. Because when we were using wire, mesh wire and the 16 millimeter gauge wire, when the load of the thatch gets much, it tilted. So by now using the brander rings, it remains the same for years. Before we start thatching from the bottom, we do what we call ceiling thatch or back thatch. We start from the top, going down. Then when we start thatching, we start from bottom going up. Ceiling thatch stops all the meshes coming inside, or you see all the dirt to come inside. We put the ceiling thatch first. Some people, they see their gazebes falling down because they want shortcuts. Because if you use untreated pours, especially when you put them down, when you are digging the walls, they get rot, or the ants will work on those pours, then you find the gazette falling. Or the untreated pours, when they get affected with those little insects, you find your clients are sitting, then the powder from the pores start falling in the furnitures, on the furnitures. So I prefer to use treated pores because it stops air and insects. It lasts longer because the treated pores doesn't rot faster. We have got thatch which is fine, like the one which you are seeing today. That is what we have maintained. There is long thatch, long bead thatch, which has got the separates of the grass, the thatch. You can see the separates. But this one is fine thatch. So they have to make sure they buy the right grass. They also need to get the right people to do the thatch. They do patterns. They draw elephants. They draw animals on the thatch. So the artisans, the proper artisans, has to do the proper job.
Well, viewers, I am so certain at this point in time that you are now well informed in terms of thatching roofs, and that you'll also be able to consider on the next building or the current home just to change and beautify it. You will get to consider the thatching roof, or what can I say, opt for the thatching roof as well. We'll be back after these messages.